October 26th, 2009. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 76.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Now with cheeseburger and hamburger.
Cheeseburger and hamburger?
Well, macaroni, cheeseburger, hamburger.
All right, that's
Fail.
it. Take two.
So is this video
No,
game
I think
helper
it's fine.
then?
Just keep going. Well, yeah, this is a high quality production. We got to make sure and get it. If we don't get it, it's going to be ruined. We'll never make the box office smash with that.
Oh,
Take two.
yes. So welcome back to Die Hard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock, and with me is John,
Hey there.
Steve, who is
Munching on macaroni.
and we welcome back Roger.
Yo. For some value of welcome.
So Brian,
May or may not be greater than 0.
so Brian
It's
could.
a signed integer, I'm pretty sure of that.
So Brian is not counting bread. What can we make up for Brian today?
I don't know.
Okay.
No clue what he's doing.
I don't know either.
All
He's
right.
been kind of absent a lot lately
Wow.
without leave.
Must have a girl. Only possible explanation.
I don't know, because he'd probably be like the type of girl that would last more than a week with Brian, would have to play video games at some point, and he would have to say, I play a crap load of video games, and I have this podcast, and it's about video games, and she'd be like, you get your ass to that podcast and talk about video games.
You never tell anyone about the podcast.
Oh, well, that explains the audience numbers. Huh?
But you're still
The
married.
podcast is like Fight Club. Is that what it is? I'm not sure I'm learning anything about being a real man at the podcast.
You are. It's a slow lesson over 76 episodes. So,
Very
So it's
slow.
1/3 the length of Bleach.
yes.
Hmm.
So anyway, do we have anything else before we go to the news? No.
Not when you ask like that.
No. Okay.
This is fairly tasty macaroni. I mean,
Yeah, would you like to describe the macaronis? It
It's-
slides
it's-
down your throat.
it's macaroni and cheese with hamburger.
With extra cheese even.
With Swiss cheese that I put on it because it's $1 microwave dinner, and therefore the thing they skimp on is cheese.
Mm.
Usually they skimp on the meat.
No,
Or
they
is
just
it
give you
meat?
crappy meat.
Oh.
It's different. It's spam
Green-
with food coloring.
You still get all the
Grade-
rat burger you want.
Mhm.
Grade D, but edible.
Yep.
As long as it's sterilized, I guess.
Yep. Pretty much.
Sterile cheese.
It got nuked anyway, so it's gonna be soggy either way.
So, thank you for listening to the Cheese Podcast.
Every
I think we
time
already
is
had
the
a cheese podcast.
podcast.
Didn't we,
Yeah.
like a long time ago. It was like the beer and cheese contest.
That was better.
Not podcast.
We
Yeah,
should
how come
have that
there's
again.
no beer. They're all out of summer ale now.
What are the,
Well,
We're
go
into
figure.
Oktoberfest,
It's
though.
October.
Yeah, I don't like them as much though. I really like the summer ale from Kugels. Apparently, the reason you can never find certain kinds during certain seasons is the vendors, the sales reps, actually go to liquor stores and take the stuff that's out of season back.
what?
Yeah, apparently they don't hit my local liquor store because last year, right around Christmas, I went and bought a bunch of the Blue Moon Summer.
Well, apparently the Blue Moon guys were kind of slacking that year. I can't find a frickin' anything from Kugels that is out of season. It's
You would have
really
figured them to be the ones on the ball.
Yeah, I know. That's not even like their market. They're like 1,200, 1,600 miles away from their home territory.
So, welcome to the Beer and Cheese Podcast now, which is a great combination.
It is.
Yeah, we'll have a review of
Two
Brie
great
and
tastes that go
Schlitz later on,
Yeah.
and Pabst Blue Ribbon.
It's not really beer. It's malt liquor.
No,
PBR's jumped the shark. Haven't you heard it's all trendy now?
It's been trending for like 5 years, dude.
Well, yeah, but now they've raised the price.
They did dude, it used to be like 75 cents for a can. They've raised the price after they raised the price after they raised the price. I can't believe how much it costs for a pitcher of PBR now. It's like costs more than I pay in gas.
Well, there's a
just drink-
crossover opportunity.
Well, you want to drive, then you can
I can
drive,
just drink gasoline and it'll probably come out better.
or just drive somewhere where there's good beer.
But then it won't be trendy.
Well,
Yeah.
Say, I hear there's something about video games in this podcast.
yes, there is. And the first bit
Not really.
well, that's true.
He's making it up.
Yeah. So first up, Nintendo joins up with the remnants of the Third Reich.
Oh, no.
Again.
We always knew it was going to happen, but now it'll be a much newer, cuter fascist regime.
Yes, actually, our first real news is about a game that I think I'm the only one who's played it. Is a new Rocket Knight Adventures coming out, which I don't think you've played that, John.
I have never even heard of this game. For
Konami
which platform was
platform
this
game.
originally released?
The Genesis and the Super Nintendo.
Nope.
Really?
Don't remember renting it as a kid.
Hmm. And do you remember any of this?
Nope.
How about you, Steve? Oh, wait. Steve isn't here.
Let's grab one of the microphones and follow Steve as he throws his trash away.
Steve's exploits throughout the apartment. It's a reality show in the making.
Yeah. And here's the wild Steve as he wanders into the apartment, and
It is his natural habitat.
well, you don't want to corner him though. I mean, really?
It could be dangerous.
Yeah.
We've decided to rename the podcast When Steve's Attack.
When beers attack.
When Steve's beer attacks?
So he has his
Distinctive sound.
The sound of joy.
leaning
Sunset
good huggles. What is the name of that beer?
This is Liney's Sunset Wheat.
Ah,
It's a beer with natural flavors.
beer flavors. Okay. So next up, Metal Gear. Fuck me. Metal.
I don't think they've
That's
gotten around to
Metal
making that
Gear
one
and
yet,
Metal
but
Slug. That's
it'll happen.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait long enough. It'll come out right after the Count Chocula vampire movie.
Yeah. Metal Slug XX for PSP announced. Comes with underwear pre-order bonus.
Why isn't it Metal Slug Triple X then? It seems like a missed
Well, that
learning
would be girls'
opportunity.
no-
panties.
Yeah, there's no titties and bikes.
So this is like a pair of tidy whities you get with this?
Yes.
It's
Or boxers. I don't
well,
know.
it's actually the boxers that the POWs wear with the little hearts on it.
I hope they've
Ah.
been cleaned.
Well, you figure
This
he's
is
got to have been wearing
Japan,
it
I
for a
don't-
long
It's still
time.
not as good as the Mystery Science
I
Theater
think
boxers.
I think the premium is the dirty underwear.
Special limited edition.
We one of our voice actresses is gladly well, we won't go into that.
Ah.
So
Well, it's probably just, one of the customers who bought the standard edition and returned it.
Oh, I accidentally left his underwear in
this
here.
underwear was defective. I need my $15 trade-in at GameStop.
That would be unfortunate to see on the shelf. Worst to stock,
What
though.
you call it? Pasty was saying that he was trying to buy. What the hell was it? Some game that was $39.99 on the GameStop website, and he figured, oh, it must be the same price in the store.
No. Yeah.
$49 in the store. He's like, you're kidding me. So your slogan now is, go to the store, pay $10 more. That's what your slogan is. So he's like, fuck, I'll just buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, that's always the right answer.
Yeah.
So next up, all this news is like for Brian, man. The Neo Geo Online Collection complete box coming out. So do you like Neo Geo games? Do you want to play
Them on the PS2?
Yeah. Well, they all have online, which I guess is good for a PS2. How? Not quite sure how that works out.
Why are they releasing this for the PS2 and not like a
It's
console that
cheap
people
and easy.
play now?
Yeah.
Well, they came out on the PS2
Pretty much.
originally. They're just reboxing it as like a huge box set. 23 different games.
Okay, but still. I mean, could they have used the same effort and put it out for the PS3?
Well,
Does it play on the PS3? Is it on the
No.
PS2 compatibility list?
I don't even think there is a compatibility list anymore.
Well, not anymore. No, there wouldn't be because they don't have the chipset anymore.
Well, they were doing it in software for a while.
Well, they were doing it half in software because they took out one of the 2 chips, but they had to keep the graphics one, I think, to make it work.
One of those thingies.
Yeah, the graphic synthesizer or
Well,
something else.
yeah, we'll go to the
they had
25
to keep the graphic equalizer.
Or was that the reality synthesizer? I'm trying to remember what the marketing warble was.
the emotion engine.
That was the main processor, I think, not the graphics
I don't
chip.
even. I don't even remember what they call it. It's Sony. They got. Nah, they don't even know what they're doing.
It's a bullshit engine.
Well, obviously.
Twirl
Well, shit.
the-
I mean, I'm just looking forward to being able to put in a DVD into my or a Blu-ray into my PS3 so I can watch Netflix. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
I know it's true.
It's sad. But you should have heard yesterday before they came out when the PS3 fanboys were like, "Yeah, now there's no reason to buy a 360." Oh, okay.
Other than price?
I guess.
Or games.
It's more games coming out for the PS3 now, but
Cross-platform seems to have really worked out pretty well.
yep, it's and they're apparently the reason they're doing the disc is to get around the console exclusive application of the Netflix licensing agreement.
That's awesome.
Huh. So you have
So-
to put the disc in the drive to watch
Yes.
Netflix?
You do until the
Every
end of
time?
2010, every time. Because apparently the license, and this is conjecture, but it makes sense. The licensing agreement between Netflix and Microsoft prohibits Netflix from deploying or selling or whatever another console app on another, in a dashboard like setting. And so to get around that, they have a special, what do they call that thing for Blu-ray, like on live or something like that lets you pull online. Content or
like
whatever.
The Java thing.
Yeah,
All that.
apparently that's how they do it. They have a little boot disc essentially that
Huh.
starts up the Netflix service on the PS3 by a Blu-ray disc.
So maybe we just say the 360 feature is convenience.
Yes. The fact that I don't have to have a disc to stream something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of missed
So-
a few things while I was traveling back.
Well,
didn't
it just
I?
happened Saturday or Sunday night was when that little thing came out, and then this morning was the disc thing. Kind of deflated the PS3 fanboys a little bit. It was kind of funny.
So are there any mod chips for the PS3 so you could rip said disc to the hard drive on the PS3?
Well, that I don't know. Perhaps. Those modders are rascally guys.
But hey, now on the Xbox 360, you can get your Facebook and everything on it. Won't
Uh,
that be exciting? Social networking.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, I don't know if the automatic updates is as good as they are in the Penny Arcade comic. That'd be worthwhile.
That'd be pretty funny. that was pretty funny.
So, must play easy mode.
More about killing the babies though, because they're evil.
Yeah, there's been a lot of war garble.
Hell babies.
Hell babies. Well, they're in hell,
So
therefore they
obviously-
must be evil babies. Also, they're in hell, so exactly how are you killing them?
with your cursed demon scythe.
Yes.
Sure.
Because stabbing things works in hell.
Okay. I didn't know. Where do they go then?
They don't.
Super
Hell
hell. They go
2?
to super hell.
Super hell.
What, didn't you ever watch Wrist Cutters?
Apparently not.
It's just hells all the way down, man.
They're hell turtles.
Hell turtles.
Hell
huh?
turtles.
So next up, and this was there. So on ABC's website, they compared. IGN compared Metroid Prime to Citizen Kane, which is
I don't even
about
know what
the-
that means.
Well, they compared. Well, Citizen Kane is considered to a lot of snobby, film
People that are
critics
on
type.
Ain't It Cool News.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as the greatest film ever made.
And
And
so
they're
Metroid Prime is the greatest game ever made.
Yes.
All right, we can go on to number 5 now. It
Yeah.
doesn't require any sort of commentary at all.
Yeah.
Kind of
And
speaks for
besides,
itself.
it's from ABC News, so
Not
what do they know about
and
video
IGN,
games?
which they don't know about video games either.
Neither one a reputable news source, right?
Yeah.
So, number 5, computer classic Archon. Archon returning to PC, which is awesome for Steve.
That's pretty cool.
I liked Battle Chess better.
Really?
I mean, I realize that in terms of making a creative game, Battle Chess is nowhere near as good as Archon, but I enjoyed Battle Chess more.
But my only complaint about it would be that even the original designers have gone on and done a couple of other sequel games that
Yeah.
were better.
There was Return to Archon and a couple of
And I'm trying to remember what the name of the one that came out on like the PlayStation, I think, was.
that I don't remember.
Can't remember the name, but there's been better games in that genre, so why not remake one of those? Or just re-release one of those instead of going back to the original.
Probably got the IP cheap.
Yeah.
Doesn't EA own the rights to that?
Is there a game that EA doesn't own the rights to at this point?
Oh, come on. Activision's the big evil these days.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I forgot.
You gotta keep up.
So, next up, news for Bakudan, Fist of the North Star, the Hokuto Musou, otherwise known as Dynasty Warriors Fist of the North Star, which will be awesome for probably just Bakudan.
I don't know. I saw the video for this. It looks rather cool.
Yeah, but do you want to hit the same button 5 million times?
Does their
If you
head
have-
explode every time you hit the button?
Roger, you saw the video.
Yeah, well, the part that I liked was the fact that, he laid one guy out. He gets back up, and while you're beating up somebody else, he's behind there going, "Oh my God, help, help." Boom.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool for like the first couple times, but then
I'm
it
quite
turns
sure
into
it's
shoot
cool
people
for-
in the crotch. And that's only fun for about a half an hour. And then you're back to playing Dynasty Warriors with different skins.
How long did it take for kicking people in the Jimmy into space in God Hand to get old?
That never got old.
The game hasn't promised then.
No, I actually liked doing the baseball bat special. That was awesome.
Dinner's ready.
All right.
Where'd that come from?
Not really sure.
Chicken's done.
Well, that's how the thing with what's his name will work.
Oh.
Because that's from the machine, so Skype will come across here and then.
Oh, okay.
Or someone's ordering a pizza, and we just happen to get it.
I don't know if my email is even open. Somebody must have broke into my place. Looked at my email.
So, next up, while Steve does things. Well, there's that. Battle.net accounts becoming mandatory for WoW, which Steve doesn't care about because you have not been playing WoW. So,
I
I
guess
actually played a little bit earlier this month.
and
And so I actually had to do that, and I actually got the penguin. And
wait, what?
if you signed up before a certain date and merged the accounts together, you got like a little penguin pet to come around with you.
Well,
Oh,
that was
there's an
worthwhile.
Incentive, huh?
Well, it was.
Thank you for coming back to World of Warcraft.
And it actually wasn't that big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
You just like make a BattleNet one, and you say, I want to merge it, and then you put in your username for World of Warcraft, and then when you log in, you type in your email address and a password instead. Interestingly enough, thinking forward, unlike a lot of companies, if you change your email contact in the BattleNet thing, it actually changes your login.
Huh.
Hey, that's nice.
Wow.
So you don't have to remember some 5-year-old email address. to
Correct.
try and get
Although
them to
these
send you
days,
a
how
password
often do
again.
you change your email address?
I assume everybody switched to Gmail and it's simpler now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's either Gmail or Yahoo, or you never got off Hotmail because you like spam.
So, next.
Or you're on Yahoo because you like paying for IMAP. One of the two.
Oh, speaking about Yahoo, it was GeoCity's last day today.
That was some great X cases.
Yes,
That
it
was
was.
awesome.
That was really cool. I was looking at it going, as somebody said in one of the Slashdot comments for that article, I'd almost forgotten why I hated GeoCities. Thank you, XKCD, for reminding me.
I'm surprised they even had to take it down, though, now. I bet the entire archive for GeoCities probably fits on a single box now.
Yeah, there was a guy who was actually, archived it all. He had a project. He started in, July to archive all of GeoCities.
Wow.
Presumably. They also had on...
How much data was it when it was all done?
I can't imagine that much.
Yeah, I mean, you figure probably a couple terabytes and you're done.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's like, what are you going to do with that domain name now? I mean, what? Make it into, I don't know. They had an interview on, what was it?
GPS.
Shit.
That one site?
With the thing and the stuff.
Was it
I don't remember.
Pearl?
They had an interview with the guy who made the first under construction animated GIF.
Damn, I bet that guy was annoying.
What I was really amazed with was the amount of CSS that went into actually recreating the GeoCities stuff, because a lot of browsers ignore those old tags now, so you have to re-implement it in CSS. It's funny shit.
Actual work to make it look that shitty. Huh?
Well, if you look at the source code, I saved that thing, but people are posting stuff in the source code. There's all sorts of stuff that he put into the source code that's really funny. It has all these things with different parens, and then it says, if no Lisp interpreter, then yeah, it was pretty funny. Lots of geek jokes.
Yes.
It also had HTML 2.0, doc type.
Back from when nobody used a doc type.
Yeah, it was anachronistically accurate.
So next up, Microsoft may or may not have a Blu-ray add-on for Xbox 360.
Apparently, they will not. So says Microsoft on Kotaku today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. If you can buy a player for $100, and I can't see Microsoft selling a drive for less than $100.
Well,
they can't sell a wireless internet connection for less than $100.
It's pretty much the base price point. Yeah.
It's Ballmer apparently is talking out his ass because they put out a press release today.
So what else is new?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be doing with their little Zune HD thing. They're going to be doing 1080p streaming anyway. So whatever.
Does that interest you?
I don't have a 1080p TV. I got a 720p TV, but I got it for $300 3 years ago. So pretty good deal. It's also only
amortizing well.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 32 inches, so I mean, 1080p is kind of pointless. It has a really crappy upscaler, though.
Sweet. I always wanted one of those.
Yeah.
So, next up, enough about that.
Well, I got it for $300. What do you want? They left out the upscaler for $300 probably.
Should we just describe televisions now while we're here?
No, cheese and beer.
Cheese
Really,
and beer.
it's what we're here for.
Damien tried to sell his 52-inch LG for $600 to Pasty.
How'd that work out for him?
Well, Pasty negotiated him down to $400, and then later on, Damien said, "No, never mind." And then Emily told Pasty to sue him because it was a breach of an oral contract.
So, beer and cheese. Do we have a favorite beer and cheese? Steve?
Favorite? Well, I mean, really, it kind of depends on what I'm doing.
Well, you like any cheese, right?
No.
Really? There's a cheese that
There
you
are
want.
some very strong cheeses that I have no interest in.
Like?
My illusion of you has been shattered.
Really strong cheeses. Like, you open up the package and you're like, oh! Yeah.
So, like
Don't like
stinky
it.
foot cheese you don't like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got to be a pretty stinky foot cheese because there's some stinky cheeses that are real stinky and you eat them and you're like, yeah, that's a good cheese. This doesn't work for girls, by the way.
What?
So, next topic. Microsoft opening up retail stores and will have on-site Xbox 360 repair. So, I guess that's good if you get the Red Ring of Death like every month.
There was a comic that had, it's Something Positive, which is
Ugh.
not a great comic, But I check in
Well,
every
it's
once
better
in a
than
while.
Control Alt Delete.
Well, it is. Actually, it's very similar to Control Alt Delete.
Oh wait, okay. I was thinking Control Alt Delete. Never
But
mind.
something positive is not all that different than Control Alt Delete.
I was thinking that too, and it's still not working to reset the conversation.
No. But he had somehow obtained pictures of the retail stores for Microsoft, and they look like Apple stores, like to a T.
Shocking.
Duh.
Yeah, it's like you took the layout and the furniture and all the lighting and like stuff, and you made it. You just put in Microsoft stuff instead, which I don't understand. How can you have a Microsoft like store? Because Microsoft doesn't sell hardware other than the 360.
Maybe they'll ink a deal with HP or Dell or something just to put something on the store shelves.
It'll be all Alienware. Cheapest computer is $2,500. I couldn't believe that Gabe bought an Alienware. I mean, I know the guy makes a lot of money, but come on.
There are better deals.
Well, there's better machines for less price, almost certainly.
Yeah.
But it has a glowy alien head on the front.
Maybe he liked the green.
Yeah.
He likes the knob that lets it turn from broil to fry.
So, any opinion on these Xbox 360 stores, or you don't care?
Well, I guess it's better than getting the coffin every time. But,
They don't ship out the coffin anymore.
They don't.
No.
How did they get your Xbox then?
You have to send it to them.
Yeah, but that.
You
no.
provide your own box, from what I heard.
No.
Really?
No.
I heard it from a
kind
reliable
of the way
source
that-
called the
that's-
internet.
That's kind of
Stop watching IGN.
it'd be a really weird way to do RMAs.
Wow.
It would be retarded.
Yeah.
People would start saying, "No, that was fine until I sent it to you."
Yeah. Yeah.
So next up, there's going to be a sequel to that Prinny platform game, which would interest probably just me.
What the hell
I
is that?
wanted to find a copy of the original, but I've been looking around for a couple months and it's totally sold out.
Really?
Yeah, you can't find it anywhere for new.
What the hell is Prinny?
It's a penguin that when you throw the penguin, it explodes.
Kind of a zombie penguin made of the souls of the dead.
Huh.
It says "dude" a lot.
Is it like Attack of the Mutant Penguins on the Lynx?
No.
Oh.
Hmm.
Or what? The Jaguar was what?
It's a spin-off of Disgaea.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
No wonder you like it.
well, I like certain things about it. I won't go into any.
Yeah.
Details.
That just.
No one will actually figure that out if they've
Yeah.
listened to more than one podcast. And since we have 3 viewers and listeners,
It does help that this guy has a sense of humor.
So because I know that you were talking about the game earlier. I didn't know that you were actively looking for it.
Apparently, I was just too slow.
Huh.
It's one of the standard, we don't make enough of these because we hate you games, apparently.
Well, Atlas is no, it's not Atlas. It's NIS America, isn't it?
I believe so, since
Yeah,
they decided to self-publish everything now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, next up, Microsoft renders Xbox incompatible with all third-party storage devices, which is excellent for no one here because I don't think we use like
nobody.
None of us own
third-part-
enough Microsoft stock to be excited about this move. No.
And I think all of us have hard drives.
Well, it's not
yeah.
hard drives. I think it's just the memory cards.
'Cause
Well, I
there's
know,
never
but-
been a third-party hard drive, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is that none of us need to use the third-party storage because we've got
Well,
the hard drives.
and you could. I mean, I can't imagine. What is it? They just do they do like a check for it? Is that what the deal is?
Probably.
Probably some USB ID thing on a memory
I'm-
card or something.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll just be a hack, just like the third-party hard drives. I mean, you just have to format them a certain way, and all of a sudden they're recognized. So
Get a crazy dongle to go in between your old memory card.
yeah.
It's another purchasing opportunity, really. They're
Yeah.
stimulating the economy.
So, our last bit of news, Nintendo will release a new DSi. Gee, what a surprise. I'm so shocked.
I guess it's been about a year, 2 years.
No, for the new DSi?
Yeah.
Been about a year here in the States.
Yeah,
Actually,
about
about
a
a year in Japan, too. So, it'll have a 4-inch screen.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I'm wondering, has anybody ever thought of collecting all of the Nintendo portables? That's got to be quite the collection by
There was
now.
a PA one about that, about all the different Nintendo portables I've collected, I've bought every single Game Boy that's ever been released by Nintendo and repurchased the same games over and over again.
That's going to be so painful if you had to collect all the colors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I believe that I have actually spent over $10 million on the Game Boy at this point.
Well, at least one part of the Japanese economy didn't go down the crapper.
Well, there is that.
The Lolita market. It's probably still good.
Well,
I think that's recession-proof.
Probably.
I support that market fully. So, next up, Care or Don't Care, which is our semi-regular feature meets Hercules, whatever.
In space.
In space with Moon Men from
Yes.
Pluto
And phantoms from Crank Horror.
So, care or don't care about Brutal Legend?
Cared until I read the reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
At this point, now I'm convinced that just like all the other Tim Schafer games, wait 6 months and you'll get it for really cheap. So,
Yeah.
Like Psychonauts?
yep.
I was somewhat
I heard
interested,
that-
and then I read a lot. I've read a lot of reviews that sour on it real quick.
And were you planning on buying it, or?
Well, I was interested, and I was wondering, oh, this might be interesting, and then it turned into, we're not really sure what this game was trying to be. Except for the people that rated it, like an 8.5. Contractually, they're obligated to give it.
EA's like, here's a check. Yeah. So what were you saying, Roger, about Brutal Legend, or?
Well, I mean, I'd heard most people seem to say that if nothing else, the writing in it is solid. The gameplay I've heard good and I've heard bad. So I don't know about that.
Wasn't there like War Garble on Penny Arcade about what the real-time strategy portion of the game?
Oh yeah, there was a bad Double Fine quote.
Well, I mean, there was a couple places that I read reviews about it where basically the concern was that it tried to be 3 different kinds of games and it didn't really pull off any of them well. So
It does seem like the RTS bit really blindsided people.
supposedly,
So if
it's not a enthusiastic review, which will mean it'll be at least $30 price point before I even think about it.
So do you have any interest in the game? Because I know you.
I totally do, but I'll wait for that $30 price point.
Okay, Roger, you have any?
Not really. I might be interested in watching somebody else play, but not interested for myself.
Yeah, you can do that on the internet.
I'm
It
sure.
costs you $29.99 a month.
Really?
Why would I want
I'm
to
just
pay
saying.
somebody?
I
I might as well buy the game at that point.
Led Zeppelin, over the head. Anyway, go on.
All right. So Mass Effect 2. Roger, I know that you're interested in
Oh,
this.
definitely interested in it.
The first one was a good game, if cliched. So maybe the second one will be less cliched, since they went through all the cliches already.
I haven't heard anybody say anything that they didn't like Mass Effect. I didn't play it, but I've never heard a bad thing about it. So
Do you have any interest in playing the first Mass Effect?
it's one of those games I just never got around to. I was like doing
I would
something else.
highly recommend it.
Matt really liked it. He got it for $20 on Amazon. So.
Well, now you can get it for $20 from Target. So
All right, there you go.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
even
that's
have to try
right.
too hard.
It's now well, I
Platinum
think they,
hits
yeah, platinum. Well, I
with
think
the
you can
DLC.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can also download it off Live if you want. As
Oh,
well.
just pay them the $20 and get
Yeah.
the thing on your limited hard drive space.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
more stuff that you can't resell later.
That too.
Yeah. Physical disc, always nice.
Yeah. Ironic that paper media irrelevant, but physical media desired.
Well, now you have to be, I don't know, man. Guess you just have to be less lazy to get the physical media.
Yeah.
Not even like you have to pay more or try harder, just less lazy.
Pretty much.
By the way, just some personal news. Looked through my video game collection and found a game that I forgot I had. So,
You start totaling up how much you've
Really?
invested in actual value.
and
cried
cried
for a week.
yeah, cried in the fetal position. So I found.
so what are you going to buy insurance for it?
Yeah, I really should. Do they sell insurance for that?
It's still insurance
Is
for anything.
does the does
you
the
give them money and they'll sell
does
you
the president of
insurance.
the United States, who does all those Allstate commercials, come?
Yes,
come
he does. Goes by and says Jack Ryan might show up and take your video games.
But I found my copy of Herzog's Zwei. So.
It's pretty awesome. I had to rebuy mine, and I'm still annoyed that I don't have a box of manual for it now.
Oh, well.
Murdock can make you a photocopy.
Yeah, I could actually. I do have the box and the manual.
Uh,
Or you can go to, I think it's like gamemanuals.com and just download the PDF.
Well, it's not that I need the manual. It's just I'm still annoyed with my old middle school friend who borrowed it from me and never gave it back.
Oh,
Would you-
that's
would
a
you-
That's
whole
the last
long
time you
ago.
loaned a game to anybody, wasn't it?
It's
might
like
have
that
been.
Long time to hold a grudge.
It
like
was
that-
Herzog's Zwei.
It's like that one time you let your friend borrow Zelda and you deleted your game save and you were in second quest and you had to do the whole thing over. Something like that. Do you want to name your friend? Do you want to out him?
I don't think Gabe's listening, so it just wouldn't work.
So, the guy from Penny Arcade.
Yeah, he stole your Herzog Spy, didn't you?
So,
That couldn't be the case. That Gabe didn't like strategy games until like a couple years ago.
hit points.
Yeah. Now they're getting to be distressingly similar.
Ugh.
They are. It's like they're kind of merging into one person.
Well,
Although the
spend your
whatchamacallit,
enough time around each other. That's
The the mechanisms where he finds for his D&D campaign are actually pretty interesting, I thought.
I don't know. They're creative, but if I was playing that game, I think those mirrors would just be like a pain in the ass.
The mirror thing was the mirror thing would have for me would have been a pain in the ass to set up. But did you see the one he did like where he had loot tables that you rolled and then you like picked a card and stuff like
yeah.
that? That was kind of interesting.
He's definitely bringing a lot of board game stuff, which I guess
Yeah.
makes sense because I think they're playing 4th edition, and that's essentially a card game. So
Oh really? I
yeah,
haven't looked at the 4th edition rules.
I've been listening to the podcast.
I keep trying to download it, but
This
I never get
one?
around to it.
No, there's a D&D podcast with Gabe and Tycho and Scott Kurtz from PvP and Will Wheaton.
and you can tell Will Wheaton is definitely the biggest nerd.
Well, not
Did you
not
look-
in D&D. His character died. I mean, he died in an acid pit. I mean, come on.
the,
Well, it doesn't mean that you play well. It's just you're the biggest nerd.
You see the little thing, whatever the hell that NBC show is with Will Wheaton on it.
Oh, what is it? The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
was
saw
like-
that episode.
I got that fucker shirt. It's actually out of print now.
Yeah. So next up on Care or Don't Care, Bayonetta, which I, strongly care about.
It looks interesting. I'm just worried about the execution.
I'm still amazed about the 40 out of 40.
I'm amazed.
That doesn't
I'm
happen
worried.
very often.
I'm worried that it had a 40 out of 40 because
Oh, and Famitsu.
Famitsu giving something 4 out of 40 that's not a Nintendo game really worries me, quite frankly.
Oh, I'm wondering if they just had a Bayonetta cosplayer go over there and, yeah.
I don't. On G4 had that little booth babe special, and they had the girl that played Bayonetta at E3 this year. She's pretty hot.
She is.
Well, yeah.
Will have nothing to do with us, but she is pretty hot.
Well, you'd have to know her first.
Well,
Mhm.
details. So since I have a Japanese Xbox, I was thinking I might download the demo and play around with it.
Oh, is that the only way you can get the demo now?
I think the demo's Japanese only for right now.
I should give it a try and see if I can download it with my Japanese account or if they've closed all those region holes yet.
I don't think so. It might be something to play around with. So, because I know Keegan's been playing the demo.
Ah.
So that's why I know about it.
Good reviews if they come in. It could be their, next, latest, greatest Devil May Cry.
Or it could be as hard as Devil May Cry and no one will be able to beat the first stage.
Hopefully it'll be as hard as Devil May Cry 1 and not Devil May Cry 3.
There's a fine distinction between the two.
Yes, there is.
So you kind of have a sort of...
Yeah, I'm interested in it. Like I said, I'd have to actually see how well it plays, but I mean, graphically, and it looks gorgeous, and story-wise sounds very interesting. So
Shooting
It's-
angels
it-
in the face with foot guns. That's pretty cool.
Steve, I know you're not into those action platform games.
Stylish action.
Nothing.
nothing.
Meh. So next up, Borderlands. Care or don't care about that. I saw the review on game trailers, and I'm like,
Well, it wouldn't
Sounds
be
like
for you
FPS Diablo.
because it sounds like everybody who wants to play it likes the co-op mode. So, not for you.
Or really likes Leet Loot.
Leet Loot.
Yep.
I was interested enough, I just put an order in for it because
Really?
Best Buy is running their buy 3 get 1 free sale,
Oh, that's right.
and Borderlands is one of the new releases they got up on there. So, figure good price.
And what are the other two games you're gonna get?
I've heard a lot of good things about Batman.
It's great game.
That's
Great
what
game.
everybody I know who
I'm,
plays
I'm
is saying.
assuming you're talking about Arkham Asylum and not Lego Batman.
Hey, Lego Batman was fun.
but not awesome game of the year material.
Do
No,
they have the
no.
same bugs as all the other Lego games had?
No, I think they came up with new and more interesting ones. Actually,
Oh.
it's actually a little more solid than Indiana Jones was. So I realize that's not saying much, but
I figure this is like the fourth time they're making this game.
well, they're
Yeah.
putting out the new Indiana Jones one. Have you seen that one?
Not a
But,
thing.
They're essentially they are redoing the first Indiana Jones game. Apparently, they're redoing it so much that you can't. The levels are done completely differently, and the story modes and stuff like that. And they're also including, unfortunately, the Crystal Skull as well.
Okay.
However, the one part that looks really interesting is that you can now build levels.
Huh. I'm just kind of stuck on the idea of what a Lego beating heart would look like.
Well, they did it for the first one, so
Kalima.
yeah, they did it for the first game. So,
So what a short round, like 4 blocks high.
but yeah, but going back to Arkham Asylum, yeah, excellent game. Probably one of the best sections of it though is whenever you have to deal with Scarecrow,
Okay.
because he's the one who with the
Alters
mind.
reality. That's
Yeah.
always cool.
Oh yeah, and hard level is hard.
Okay.
It is. I I had gotten really good at normal level.
Thanks,
wandered
Moot.
in, wandered in, playing in hard mode, and I mean, first fight got my ass kicked. It was like, oh.
There was a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. And third one was Alpha Protocol.
Oh yeah, you were telling us about that game earlier.
That one looks interesting too.
It's definitely the first of the RPGs, and the first RPG we've had for like 6 months that didn't come from Japan. So
Well, that and it's actually doing something different. The spy idea looks really good.
it's a different setting. My only concern is it's definitely the BioWare B team.
Well, it looks like they might have actually had time to finish this one as opposed to.
It's the Treyarch to the Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
By the way, you have Fable 2. That Fable 2 gambling game is like the deal of the week on Xbox Live Arcade.
The pub games.
So
Yeah.
Fable 2, when you play it, you don't play for a while. It just kind of keeps track of how much money you've made, and just kind of credits to you with like 10 minutes after you start playing again. I
Uh-huh.
haven't played for about 2 months, and I own 3/4 of the starter town.
So have you?
No, because I figure I'm going to be able to buy everything when I next play next time. So I've essentially completed the game as far as I care without even playing it.
I gotta try that out. They've made the first episode available free on live. So
I don't know if you get to buy anything in that one though.
Yeah, because you have to get along to the first city before you can buy
Yeah.
stuff, right?
And our last care or don't care, which I'm adding in right after Borderlands, because
But it's not on the list.
well,
We're
I'm
unprepared. What do we say?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Well, we didn't say anything
Okay.
about Borderlands.
Oh, well, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of like, but the co-op is like, yeah, it doesn't really interest me.
Yeah,
So, Assassin's Creed 2.
you could
I'm
swim.
What?
I mean, what more do you want?
It is pretty awesome.
Well,
I mean, it should have been in the first one, but no, it's in the first one.
Like I kept saying, flags underwater.
Yeah.
Expect it.
Yep.
I hope
Well-
they don't change the control scheme. That's my only worry.
Well, it'd be sad if they did because it was a really good control scheme.
It worked really well for the game too.
It was even better than the first Buffy game control scheme, which was pretty good.
There's a lot of people who bitched about it though, so that's why I worry.
I don't know why they would bitch about it. It was like
there
a
was
very
nothing-
intuitive.
Because it wasn't exactly like every other action game ever. made.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Yeah, it was better, so we better change it.
No, but this one will definitely pick that up. Because I mean, the first game was just so full of awesome already, and it looks like
I
they're
just
giving
hope,
you a
I hope
lot
the
of
second
stuff
one
that
isn't
you're
going to
gonna
be
have
as
fun.
repetitive, though.
That's one of the things they wanted to change.
Well, the designers are definitely really talking about that one. It doesn't sound like they're changing the, engine or the mechanics that much. So hopefully this is their chance to polish everything to where they wanted it to be.
And maybe the story will go somewhere.
The story
Well-
went somewhere in the first game.
What's his name? The producer or head dude talks too much about this game. It's like, oh, what I really wanted is my vision of this, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah. He's like
Great.
Hideo Kojima.
He's like, what's his name from 3DO?
Oh, Trip Hopkins?
Yeah.
It is really unfortunate listening to game designers talk about their games. It does take all the fun out of it.
Finally, I had a topic on here, but now I'm not I'm not really interested in talking about it.
No, box art isn't that important. Done.
No, not really.
No.
People will buy games without the boxes, so what do you want?
Well, yeah, we just go to GameStop. People will buy games without CDs from crying out loud.
Well, especially now these days where you can actually look at a lot more of the game without having to rely completely on the box art.
Yeah.
Well, because the box art was really all that accurate in the first place. I mean, check out, the box art for Double Dragon on the Commodore 64.
No, look at any said Nintendo, not Nintendo, excuse me, Atari 2600 game.
Well, yeah, same league there.
Well, yeah, the box art for Kid Niki Radical Ninja really made me want to buy the game.
Yeah. I don't know what you want there.
So,
Yeah. Pretty
sorry.
much.
Little congested there. Thought I'd share that.
So it would seem.
Finally, just to add a little banter.
Yeah, because we were,
Like we had no banter.
there was
to
no
begin with.
banter at all in this podcast.
Is there any games that are coming out in the next couple weeks that you're gonna pick up? I know that all your MMORPGs are never ever coming out ever.
There was a news release that says Star Trek MMO is going to come out first quarter next year.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Do you believe that?
I'm hoping it's still. I've decided on that I'm going to try a new character name for Star Trek and for Jumpgate Evolution. I'm either going to be Space Chief or
Space Cheese?
Space Chief or Prince of Space. One of the two.
Well, you better get in early.
Yeah. I'll just keep trying servers until I get it.
So-
Frickin' hey, listen, Pasty went on the server that I'd been on of World of Warcraft since day one and got Durin as a dwarf name.
Huh.
Yeah, where I was like, what? Huh? First of all, why is this not a protected name? And second of all, nobody picked Durin ever on this server.
So, have you ever considered, because they're supposed to be doing the Knights of the Old Republic MMO,
And I don't know how that's going to be good or not.
or
I mean, Sony Online Entertainment will buy it, and then they'll come out with a Commodore Division 2 again.
or Champions Online?
But Champions Online just makes me think, why don't I just play Heroes City of Heroes?
Well, because you get to create your own villain.
But you can do that in City Villains.
Heroes.
Well, you get to create your arch villain.
Yeah.
that comes and tries to beat you up all the time?
Dude, you can be the arch villain in City
This
of
is
Villains.
true. This is true.
You can build your own little fortress and everything that the heroes have to get in. I mean, it's awesome.
And it's always kind of a given that if you go back and play the MMO that's been out for like 4 years, there's going to be tons more content than there is for the one that just released.
Well, I mean, and you can make your own campaigns in City Heroes too. So,
Although I guess 90% of them were the quick XP levels that all
I'm
went and got banned.
sure, yeah. Yep, pretty much. Well, but
So-
now there's a lolbat one.
That's
Lolbat
pretty
campaign.
awesome.
Yeah. Because apparently they got a bunch of webcomic authors to make campaigns for City of Heroes, and Scott Kurtz made a lolbat one.
So,
Which I was reading his post on. I'm like, I don't know how anybody can not like lolbat, because that is awesome. Not the if it's awesome on its own, and twice as awesome that it's the butler.
so pretty much Star Trek Online is the only game that you're really looking for.
Jumpgate Evolution.
Well, there's that.
Why isn't that released yet?
Because they keep throwing out the Blizzard line. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. Which on one hand makes you feel like okay, and on the other hand you're like, fuck.
Doesn't Blizzard have that line trademarked or
I
something?
think must.
I
But
thought,
NetDevil
well,
doesn't have the track record to get away with it.
Well, I mean they did the first Jumpgate Evolution, which is still online. I gotta say, so somebody still likes it.
So, any game in the future that you're picking up, John?
Other than the ones I already talked about.
Yeah.
Haha, Time Machine.
Roger, I know that you're picking up.
looking at picking up the Game of the Year edition for Fallout 3.
Good choice.
As, I was thinking about Assassin's Creed 2 because that's supposed to be out here fairly soon, but I think I'll go with because the Game of the Year edition. I haven't gotten to play Fallout 3 really, and that's a pretty good deal.
Cheap way to get everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you don't get the free premium theme that you got for spending the $60 on all the download packs.
Oh darn!
Or
like
$50.
Like I ever changed it from the Mass Effect one that I have that I've had
Mine's still the
since.
Penny Arcade theme from like 2 years ago.
You haven't even gone to the premium theme.
I know. It's like just the old one. That's all it is.
Old and busted.
I have a really, my Xbox experience is somewhat dusty.
When was the last time you logged in?
Oh, I was replaying Assassin's Creed a little while ago. So like 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Okay.
Not long.
Yeah. Played Ion. That's about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's that game?
Have you played Warcraft?
Well,
You can
Yeah.
fly in this one.
is there grinding?
Who made it?
Koreans.
Yeah.
There's grinding.
Yeah.
With wings, though.
With wings. Though it is, as Gabe said, it's very pretty. And, other than that, the gameplay mechanics are exactly the same as every other fantasy MMO you've ever played.
Fuck.
I mean, they're exactly the same. Even the playing mechanics of every character type, you've already done it. You don't need to do the tutorial. You already know how to play this game. Oh, I'm an assassin. Oh, do you mean I get that skill where I sneak up behind somebody and it does critical hit damage? Oh, really? Oh, I'm a tank. I can stand there and do special attacks and take a lot of damage. Ooh, I'm a mage. I can freeze someone and then slow them and then do, range damage until they do it. It's like,
It'd be great if it just let you imported your character from WoW then.
yeah, it's like, listen, I got a 50 something, and wow, can I just move it around here?
Move it from a different Korean MMORPG.
I'm wondering.
wow.
That's a rather interesting idea.
I have my character from Maple Story. I need to bring him over.
It could just be in addition to like OpenID. It's the
Yeah.
new fantasy MMO character ID
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, I got my level 2 character from Lineage. Can I bring him?
What were you saying, Roger?
Well, about what he was talking about was the moving the character. Just somebody import your character from World of Warcraft. Well,
So
that
what-
would make it pretty easy cheesy for everybody else.
Apparently, Blizzard screwed up something with World of Warcraft where you can pay like $10 and you can switch factions on a server. And apparently they screwed it up, and so people can't log into those accounts now.
Ooh.
Like, you didn't test that at all. I mean, what do you got to do? Change a variable, like one of them? It's a $10, binary variable, Horde or Alliance, one of the two. Apparently, I'll just screw that up.
Apparently, they were just taking the $10 until they got enough of them together to actually code the feature.
Yeah, apparently.
Don't they have more money than God now?
Not enough for that, apparently.
Apparently
No.
not. I couldn't afford the QA guys to test that particular feature.
They've got users now. They're out of beta.
Yeah.
They don't have QA guys anymore.
That's yeah.
So is that it for the podcast?
I don't know. You run this shit.
Yeah.
You tell us.
One of these days I'll actually get respect.
Podcast Dolomite.
Well. Anyway, thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio.
It could be worse. You could have been Shaolin Dolomite.
There's actually a Wikipedia article on that movie.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh, now I gotta go look at it.
Did you write it?
No, I did not.
Speaking of which, have you seen that? It says Black Dynamite. It's supposed to be a parody of the blaxploitation flicks. It's going to be coming out.
Yes.
But isn't that I'm gonna get you, sucker?
Yeah, it was. It was made like 20 years ago.
Isn't that like every movie from the 70s?
Yeah, they're kind of parodies of themselves.
It's true.
After the first one came out, the rest were just parodies of the first one.
Yeah, from the people
Hey.
who bought you, Blackula and Blackenstein. It's the Lunch Black of Bloater Blame.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio.
Join us next time when I don't know.
You'll hear Steve go,
No, well, now we have to close it like the McLaughlin group. We're still talking about stuff.
Well, I can close it on anything, man.
Oh, okay.
Just, whatever.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.